We shift our focus to this now. The Portfolio Committee on Transport has been briefed on the serious challenges Transnet is facing due to organised crime syndicates. These groups are involved in sabotage, corruption and internal collusion, undermining the company's operations. The committee has concluded a series of oversight visits to various transport entities. Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Transport, Donald Selamolela, joins us now for more on this conversation. Donald, thank you so much for your time this evening here on SABC News. Now, you as a committee have conducted a number of oversight visits to some of the transport entities, and you found a number of challenges which are crippling Transnet. Maybe if you can just highlight to us what are the most disturbing challenges that you found which is hindering the progress of Transnet?
Look, let me start by indeed passing my greetings to you, my dear sister, and to the viewers of our beautiful station this evening. It is true that as Portfolio Committee on Transport, we spent the whole week conducting the oversight visit in both the province of Eastern Cape and KwaZulu-Natal to entities of the Department of Transport. We started with Sanral, and obviously we also dealt with Transnet. It is said that part of the things that we are revealing out on this oversight in relation to Transnet is clear cases of sabotage, which we can simply say these are economic sabotage, because when you cripple Transnet, when you cripple trains, when you sabotage the ports, you are actually sabotaging the economy of the country, because Transnet is the heartbeat of South African economy. Things such as cable theft, which is becoming a daily issue in as far as Transnet is concerned, which then cripples the movement of trains, including and not limited to the internal collusion in terms of supply chain, where you find that the Transnet buys things that it could buy for 10 Rand, to find that they're bought for 100 Rand. These are some of the things that as we engage with the management, they were able to be honest and become clear to us to say these are some of the challenges that they're actually facing. You would remember that last year, the people of South Africa and especially the business community were really concerned with the congestion that was there at the port, especially the port of Durban, because we visited the port of Durban. We also visited the Richards Bay Coal Terminal. Now, you would remember, especially as we were moving towards the festive, there was a serious congestion. But we're happy that as we arrived there, we find that there's the management has made various interventions and those congestion have been cleared. But we have implored on them to continue reporting these particular cases, whether through the channel of the National Logistic Crisis Committee and also through to the South African police system, police services, so that these types of sabotage are attended on time and are dealt with, because it's a direct sabotage, like I would have said, to the economy of the country. It's a direct sabotage to the livelihoods of our people, and these are the things that we can't tolerate, we can't allow.
And Donald, one would ask, I mean, it's clear that you have found syndicates who are operating at this level and who are colluding to the sabotage of Transnet. And one would also ask, who is responsible for these major problems in which you have found? Would you say that these are some of the employees who are, employed at Transnet, or are these some of the contractors who do business with Transnet?
It would obviously be some of the business people who want to conduct a business in an illicit way. It would also be, of course, you can't rule out certain participation of staff members there, but also they are just people from also outside the system. For instance, if you speak about a daily sabotaging and stealing of cables, daily sabotaging of the network, of the rail network, these are the people with malice intent. So it's a myriad of these particular activities which you can't signal or point to just one person. There's a sabotage to signaling, there's a sabotage to rail network, and there is just collusion in terms of price, buying of goods and services, in terms of pricing. There's just a lot of things that are happening. But what comforted us was that the management team led by the CEO has assured us that the group CEO, Michelle Phillips, has assured us together with Mr. Letsoalo, who is the group COO, and the entire team, they've assured us of their commitment to resolving the challenges that are currently there. And a practical example was the fact that they were able to clear in terms of the congestions that were there, because when we were going there, part of the reason why we sanctioned oversight to the Durban port in the main, and also to Richards Bay coal terminal, was the fact that the public and everyone was crying of the congestion that was there. So that's why, as is equal to our oversight that we have done in Joburg, we had to now to head to Durban to really see by ourselves the challenges that are there. But we are confident now, where we are seated, that the Transnet, just like South African Airways, will be on the way to rise if the management can to continue, one, to ensure that they decisively act on the internal route that is there. They reinforce in terms of working with the South African police services to deal, and also intensifying their own internal security to deal with the sabotages that are there on the rail, but continue to implement their corporate plans and their recovery plans in a manner that is in line, of course, with the National Logistic Crisis Committee and so forth. So we are confident, and also if they can continue to ensure that they refurbish and buy new equipment, because one of the challenges that's there in as far as Transnet is concerned was that they lacked equipment such as cranes, they lacked basic equipment which are necessary to ensure efficient and effective way of doing business. But as we speak, when we arrive there, we've been shown new cranes that they've been able to bring on board. So we also call on the public, especially those who live along the rail line, to respect and protect the rail line, because our people must understand protection of Transnet is not only going to come from the employees of Transnet. All people of South Africa must actually protect Transnet. We must protect Transnet because it's the heartbeat of our economy.
Yeah.
Our lives depend on the economy, and Transnet is at the center of that.
And Donald, I mean, you keep on touching on the fact that, when one sabotages Transnet, it is sabotaging essentially the economy. What happens to a country's economy, particularly when it also relies on, transport such as rail? And when that channel of transportation is sabotaged, I mean, you point to the fact that there was a time where some of the goods couldn't move from the Durban port. I mean, there was a huge public outcry from various businesses. What does it do to a country's economy if rail is not working appropriately?
When rail is not working appropriately, first is that you now have the businesses using the alternative of trucks, where you have a lot of trucks on the road. What happens when the trucks are on the road? We have a lot of people dying because of accidents, because these people will be tired. The truck drivers will have to drive long ways, and they get now to be traveling exhausted and then causing accidents on the road. But also they damage, because some of the loads that they carry, they damage the road network. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that in as far as when the business is not moving, we are unable to collect taxes that we're supposed to be collecting when this freight is shipped out of the country. We are able to compete also economically with our global counterparts. Therefore, our revenue base becomes very, very restricted. That is why you have a situation where the National Treasury in its port does not have enough, because the South African Revenue Service will not have collected enough to put in the port for that to distribute for other services. So when Transnet is sabotaged, because the exporting of goods and also importing of goods is what makes our economy tick, is what makes our economy work. And when the economy works, we collect taxes, we are able then to have much in the basket to distribute to education, to health, and to any other service.
And Donald, before I let you go, I've run out of time. South Africans always want to know, can we expect some sort of arrest? Can we expect those who are responsible for the sabotage that you talk of with these syndicates who are operating at, Transnet? Can we expect some of them to be held accountable for the damage they've caused to the country?
Look, the work is underway, and I must say we have confidence as the management, starting with the minister, confidence on the minister, Barbara Creasy, and the team in the department, with the confidence in the board of Transnet and the management that they are committed to turning things around. We have said to them, we'll be monitoring them, we'll be visiting them, I think, after a quarter. We strongly believe that by the time we get to them, we'll be able to be shown what is it that they are doing in as far as the internal sabotage is concerned, but also the fact that they are deploying the new technology to deal with things such as theft of cable and so forth is also consoling to us. But we want to emphasize, anyone who sabotages Transnet, it's like anyone who wants to sabotage ESCOM, sabotage the heartbeat of South African economy, and we cannot be shy to confront that person. We must condemn those people with as much as possible, and the law must take its effect to ensuring that these particular people are taken to account and they are punished to the core, so that you can't have people who sabotage the economy, the livelihoods of our people for the current generation and the future generations.
All right, Donald, thank you so much for your time and for that insight. That is Donald Selamolela. He is the chairperson for the Portfolio Committee on Transport there, talking about some of the sites in which they've conducted those visits over the past week, and of course ensuring that they get down and to the bottom to some of the challenges being experienced at Transnet.